Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel. I went and did it. I went and got a kayak. I really wanted to fish some bodies of water that are around that I keep seeing, and they either don't have a boat ramp or I don't have a boat, so I went and got a kayak. Closest body of water to me that I can learn how to kayak and learn how to row and do all that stuff has basically nothing but carp in it. And I want to set it up for fishing, so I had to learn how to fish for carp. Well, most carp fishing videos are from England or Europe or other places where carp fishing is a big deal. But for here, local to me, I can't find any of that gear. I mean, they've got artificial corn and they've got little hair rig tubes and method leads. I mean, if you watch Catfish and Carp channel, he'll tell you all the stuff, but most of that stuff has to be special ordered. So what I did is I found a way to basically recreate everything that they had with just stuff that I could find at the local Walmart. So I'm going to show you guys how I do a carp setup and how it turned out. I got some footage of me actually fishing with it. So I will get that put together and hope you guys enjoy. Alright, the very first part of this is artificial corn. In my kayak and everybody else's kayak, they have these little holes in them to let water go out called scupper holes. And one of the cheapest ways to plug those scupper holes is with these little foam practice golf balls you get from Walmart. So when I was thinking I needed some artificial corn and couldn't find it anywhere, I was looking at these little balls going, well, they're yellow. So I cut one up and it turned out great. It makes perfectly good floating artificial corn, and the nice thing about them is they're super absorbent. So I just like put them in a can of actual corn and squeeze all the air out, and then let them fill up with all the corn water, and then they fill up and they taste and smell just like corn, but they're artificial, they're super dense foam, and it worked out great. So I'll show you how I cut one up. Maybe I'll speed this up so you can see. Super easy, I just cut it in half. And then I cut that one in half. And I start cutting the like wedge shape, like you cut like a lemon. Stupid table's rocking. This ghetto setup I got here. Anyway, so once you get that done, then I just start cutting little wedges out of this. And then I cut the little tips off. So as you can see, it closely resembles this piece of corn. And one golf ball will make this much artificial corn. Let me see if I can grab it all. It's quite a lot. So this is one golf ball's worth of little foam pieces. You can, I like them a little bit bigger. They float so they hold my hook up out of the muck. So I like the little bigger ones, and you can cut them whatever size you like. But that's one golf ball's worth. 6 golf balls come to a package for $3. So you can see just how cheap this works. Now I'll show you guys how I set it up on the hook. Alright, so to use this artificial corn for carp, a lot of guys use what's called a hair rig. There's tons of videos on how to make a hair rig, and I'll show you how I did it, but for better instruction you probably check out somebody else's video that that really knows how to do it. But it also requires a something called a bait needle or a boilie needle. I don't know, there's a bunch of different names. But I looked all over Walmart's fishing section and I couldn't find a bait needle. Maybe they're common someplace else, or a special fishing store might have them. But what I did was I took a little needle from the wife's sewing kit and I just ground off one little side of that and created a little hook. And it worked out great. So I'll show you how I did that. Hopefully this works on the camera. It worked pretty good the first time. Actually, the first time I tried to use a pair of snippers, and needles are very hard, so the entire end shot off, broke off. I never did find it. Somebody will step on it and we'll find it that way. But Yeah, it's not a good way to do it. Don't do that. All right. So I'm going to use this grinder. I'm going to try and hold it steady for the camera, but. And there it is, folks. I hope that shows up. But now I have a little tiny needle. Maybe if I don't know if this got macro. You can see there's a little gap there. So when I push that through the artificial corn, this corn is actually pretty dense, so it's not easy. Then I have a little hook on there to put on the hair rig, and then pull the hair rig back through the corn. And I'll show you how I did that next. Alright, so now I've got my baiting needle and my artificial corn, and I gotta tie up what's called a hair rig. There's a ton of videos on YouTube on how to tie a hair rig, but I'll go fast. You tie a little overhand knot in the end of your leader. I'm just using some 20-pound test braid for this demonstration. Actually, that's what I used out in the field. Oh, I made that knot, that loop a little too big. It's alright, we'll go with it. And then cut your tag end off. And what you'd normally do is you'd take your fish hook. Let me grab a fish hook. And you'd run it through the eye here. I'm trying to do this on camera. My old man eyes. And then you set your hair at the length off of that you want it. And then you tie a knotless method, which is just wrapping that around, putting it through the eye. But what we're going to do was a lot of the videos I saw had like a little ring that they would tie on or a little piece of tubing. Well, I couldn't find those at Walmart anywhere. So what I do have, is these little bobber stops. They come in a package like this. And it's for tying on your line to stop your slide bobber from going up and down your line. So what I did was I take my line and I run it through that tube. I had to cut the tube down. They come pretty long. This makes it a little easier if you cut them down first. Run it through there. Just like that. Pull that through. And then slide that hook through your tube also, and then slide the bobber stop off of the tube. Come on now. There we go. Take that tube off, and then pull the two tag ends until it makes a nice little stop. Pull them hard. You can still move it around even after it's cinched down, so cut those tag ends off so not in your way anymore, because you don't need them anymore. Like that. And then that way you can adjust where you want that hair, they call it a hair, to come off of your hook. You slide it up and it'll come off the back like that, or come off the front, wherever you want. But this keeps that hair coming off right where you want that to be presented in the water. And then you just tie it like you normally would tie a hair rig with a knotless. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then back through. Is it through the front, through the back? I think it's through the back. Anyway, I'm not an expert at tying that knot. Go look up somebody else's video for that. But now this is what you have. So I can move that, I can adjust that to the bottom. And since we're using a floating artificial corn, I want the corn to be above the hook. So when the fish comes and grabs the thing, it's going to get hooked. All right. So now we've got that. Take our piece of artificial corn and our baiting needle, push that through like that. Put it on the end of our little loop and slide that through just like that. Now what you need is a little stop, so that when you pull this down, there's a little thing in there that stops the bait from coming off. And I guess they're pretty common everywhere else in the world. They make little plastic ones, and I'm sure you can special order one on Amazon or something, but I didn't have that, and I didn't want to spend money. But what I did have was this little really light gauged yellow wire. So what I did was I took my clippers and I cut a very small, very light little, I didn't cut all the way through, I'm just crimping it. So there's like a little, hopefully that's showing up, there's a little line in there, a little dent. And then next to that, I cut off a bigger piece. This piece is kind of big. You can make these as big or small as you want. Alright, so now I have a little bait stop. You put that through your loop. Hopefully I can do it on camera here, because it's not near my face. And my loop is kind of closed up. There we go. And you cinch that down snug, just like that. There. And now we have artificial corn on a hair rig for fishing carp from stuff you can find at Walmart. How awesome is that? Now I'll show you guys some footage of it actually working. That's even the bigger miracle. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, share this video, that'd be great. Subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. This one feels a little bigger. That's a lot bigger. Oh yeah, he's a big one. Well, maybe not. This one's getting netted right away, huh? Ah, dang it, I forgot to tighten my drag again. About the same size as the last one. Easy now. Yeah, I know, that sucked. Alright, well, we'll put him right back. Why, he's still real lively. They come out of the net there, buddy. There you go.